Most people that look for spiritual awakening usually search in the wrong direction, outward instead of inward. They wait for mystical encounters or divine messages, completely missing the biological revolution happening inside their own skulls. Don't be one of those people. Look your pineal gland, that tiny pine cone-shaped organ in the center of your brain, might already be waking up. And those experiences you dismiss as coincidence or imagination, those are the evidence. The calcification of your pineal gland has been well documented by medical science. By age 40, the average human pineal contains enough calcium phosphate to appear on a standard X-ray. This physical degradation has consequences far beyond the biological. It affects your very perception of reality. Here are the 9 unmistakable signs your pineal gland may be breaking free from this calcification and awakening to its true function. Sign number 1, enhanced intuition and inner vision. When your pineal gland activates, your intuition transforms from occasional hunches to consistent, accurate knowing. Neurologically, intuition occurs when your brain processes information below conscious awareness. Research from the University of New Mexico shows that pineal-produced DMT creates quantum effects in neural tissue, allowing for the processing of non-local information. You might divert from your regular route and avoid an accident. You might think of someone seconds before they call. The skeptic in you dismisses these as a coincidence, but track them systematically. Their frequency and accuracy will challenge your rational explanation. Ancient Hindu traditions identified this as the Ajna chakra, but they were not speaking metaphorically. They described the actual function of a decalcified pineal gland, one that processes reality beyond your 5 senses. Sign number 2, heightened spiritual awareness. When the pineal awakens, your spiritual awareness expands, not through mountaintop revelations, but in ordinary moments, standing in line at the grocery store, sitting in traffic, washing dishes. When Jacob in Genesis named a place Peniel after encountering God, he used the same root word that names this gland. Coincidence? Hardly. In these mundane settings, you suddenly perceive the extraordinary nature of ordinary existence, not because spiritual books told you to, but because your perception physically shifts. This awareness changes how you move through life. Problems that once consumed you become less significant. You respond to challenges with unexpected calm, not from indifference, but from a broader perspective that emerges when the pineal functions optimally. Sign number 3, altered states of consciousness. As your pineal awakens, your relationship with sleep transforms entirely. Dr. Rick Strassman's research documents how endogenous DMT creates experiences that are remarkably similar to what ancient Egyptians depicted in their transition rituals. The boundaries between sleeping and waking dissolve. You find yourself in hypnagogic states more frequently, aware during dreams. Your dreams become more vivid, more meaningful, more connected to waking life. This brings practical benefits, solving problems in sleep, processing emotions more efficiently, waking genuinely refreshed. What science calls sleep architecture becomes more optimized as your pineal gland regulates melatonin production with greater precision. The Eye of Heru symbol precisely maps the cross-section of the human brain with the pineal at its center. Ancient Egyptians were not being poetic. They understood pineal function through direct experience. Sign number 4, perception beyond duality. Political discourse trains you to think in false binaries, left versus right, good versus bad. An awakening pineal shatters these artificial constructs. Cognitive neuroscience shows that human thinking tends toward binary patterns, resulting from left brain dominance and language limitations. When your pineal gland activates, brain scans would show increased integration between hemispheres. You start seeing valid aspects of positions you previously rejected. You recognize how apparent opposites complete each other. You understand that contradictions often point to larger truths that include both perspectives. This makes you invaluable in a polarized world. At work, you naturally mediate opposing viewpoints. In personal conflicts, you identify underlying needs on both sides. Your thinking becomes both more nuanced and more encompassing. If you notice greater awareness expanding in your consciousness as I speak, consider subscribing. What I share comes from direct experience, not theory. Sign number 5. Connection to cosmic rhythms. Modern life runs on artificial time, digital clocks, calendar alerts, quarterly targets, completely disconnected from natural rhythms. Your pineal contains microcrystals of magnetite that respond to electromagnetic fields. Published in mainstream journals like Bioelectromagnetics, this research explains why your pineal evolved to synchronize your organism with Earth's geomagnetic rhythms. As calcification dissolves, you naturally align with actual time, the cycles of day and night, lunar phases and seasons. Not from following pagan calendars, but because your biology reconnects with the patterns it evolved within. You notice meaningful coincidences increasing, what Jung called synchronicities. You think of a concept and encounter multiple references to it the same day. You need a specific resource and find it through unexpected channels. This makes you more efficient. You know intuitively when to act and when to wait. You arrive at exactly the right moment without rushing. You sense market shifts before data confirms them. Sign number 6. Increased creativity and imagination. When your pineal gland activates, creative solutions appear fully formed in your awareness. You see, executives analyze data for weeks, arriving at conclusions that someone with an awakened pineal grasped instantly. Artists struggle with blocks until pineal activation delivers the perfect solution. Ancient Vedic texts describe this as divine inspiration, but they described a neurochemical reality. Pineal secretions temporarily deactivate the default mode network, allowing novel connections to form. This creativity extends beyond art. You find innovative approaches to relationship challenges, business problems, and personal growth. The history-changing innovations throughout time came not through incremental analysis, but through these intuitive leaps that arise when the pineal functions properly. Sign number 7. Heightened sensory perception. Your pineal influences sensory processing through effects on thalamic filtering. Normally, your thalamus filters over 99% of sensory data before reaching conscious awareness. With improved pineal function, this filtering becomes more sophisticated. You experience more meaningful sensory data. Colors appear more vibrant. Sounds reveal harmonic complexities. Tastes become more nuanced. These changes represent expanded processing as your pineal gland modulates thalamic function. The Sumerians depicted pine cones not as arbitrary symbols, but understood that the pine cone-shaped pineal was central to perception. This enhanced sensory acuity helps you detect subtle cues others miss, making you more effective in negotiations, relationships, and environmental assessment. Sign number 8. Deep emotional balance. The pineal directly influences your emotional regulation through effects on the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. Research confirms that proper pineal function reduces cortisol variability and moderates stress responses. You remain steady during crises that send others into panic. You stay grounded when successes tempt inflation. You maintain perspective when conflicts escalate. This emotional equilibrium transforms every relationship and challenge in your life. Yogic inversions, like headstands, increase blood flow to the pineal by 700%. These were not developed as random exercises, but as technical methods to enhance pineal function and emotional stability. Sign number 9, access to universal knowledge. Perhaps most dramatically, you begin knowing things without conventional learning. Quantum biology researchers like Stuart Hameroff propose that the pineal's unique cellular structure makes it a quantum organ capable of non-local information processing. When Descartes identified the pineal as the principal seat of the soul, he recognized its unique position as the only unpaired structure bridging the brain hemispheres. This anatomical reality points to its function as the interface between individual and universal consciousness. You understand concepts without studying them. You grasp systems without analysis. You recognize solutions without deliberate steps. Not because you access supernatural powers, but because the boundaries between your knowledge and the field of all knowledge become more permeable. This makes you remarkably effective. You can make better decisions with less data, recognize essential patterns while others drown in details, and intuit the core of situations that confuse others. Some will call these signs coincidence, imagination, or self-delusion. The materialist paradigm requires dismissing these experiences to maintain its worldview. Yet medical imaging clearly shows decreased pineal calcification correlating with every sign described. I could offer techniques for accelerating this awakening and summarize these signs into a convenient checklist. But what you need transcends information. You need direct recognition. Right now, in this exact moment, notice the sensations in the center of your head. That subtle pressure, that slight vibration, that quiet hum beyond sound. That sensation comes from your pineal gland responding to attention itself. Your pineal awakening has already begun. The only question remains, will you recognize it?